Bonsoir and bonjour, dear friends. Tonight will be only in French. I cannot tell you how excited I am because I have several Frenchies with me. There's one named Frenchie the First. And there's one of the most well-known Frenchmen in the wine world who's been ruling winemaking around the planet for the last, I won't say, he looks very young. He's next to me. He just landed a few days ago from France. He is the legend. He's the emperor of wine. It's actually amazing, dear friends, for me to be next to him because he's been my idol, of course. And I've been admiring what he's done from an oblique side of the French hexagon because he was born and raised in Bordeaux. And he really made wine not only amazingly great from around the globe, but with a great taste, with a great philosophy, with great energy. He's built an amazing company as a lab he bought with his wife many years ago. He's built an incredible team. He's been really magnetic in the world of wine. And I know you all want to know who he is. His first name is Michel. Not Michel Platini, although he's as good as he was, with a round ball for Platini. He is, ladies and gentlemen, the most passionate one for the wine world. His name is Michel Rolland. Yes! So Michel, welcome.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, comment ça va?
Très bien.
So, dear friends, this is an iconic moment here on Wapo Hill in the heart of Napa because Michel, maybe we start. First of all, welcome.
Thank you.
How many years have you been coming to Napa Valley?
33.
So how was Napa Valley when you came for the first time?
Middle age.
Ladies and gentlemen, notice he's not wearing any socks tonight. And you see what's behind us? We will both dine in the pool with a few guests, but that's where we may end up. So 33 years ago,
Yeah.
before we go back to your own history, well, cheers, we cannot.
Cheers.
You've always told me it's many years of bad something if we don't drink and look at each other in the eye, right? So you've been coming in Napa from Bordeaux. How was Napa 33 years ago?
Well, 33 years ago was the beginning of the new era. The first point, very important, we were right in the middle of the phylloxera damage. And so we, yeah, and you know, the phylloxera has been a huge damage for the valley, but huge chance maybe for the valley.
Yes.
Because anything changed at this moment. People replant vineyard with better rootstock, with doing better viticulture, using better clones. And so I think the wine industry changed quite a lot at this moment. I have been lucky to be here at the right moment. You know, in life, you have to be lucky sometimes. You have to be to work. We have to work a lot. We have to have maybe some talent. I would like the people accepting some talent, and we have to be lucky. And I have been lucky to be in Napa at the right moment.
But how amazing for you coming from Bordeaux to really come here and discover this place as a virgin place, really, where your palate became really your art here.
Was another story, because in the middle of the 80s, at this time was the Merlot mania in Napa Valley.
Yeah.
And people was planting Merlot, sometimes everywhere, and not so good. But people was planting Merlot. Because I'm born in Pomerol, so I'm a pure Merlot product, and so they imagine my genial sense of vinification can find the right way to make the beautiful Merlot in the valley. Not at all, but finally we replant Cabernet Sauvignon, and we are very happy with that.
And how did it happen for you? And we're going to go back through your history which is amazing, dear friends. How did it happen for you really to connect with Napa Valley? What happened and why the US? Because you had started your business, of course.
Yeah, but my first connection with Napa, in fact, was not Napa. My first connection has been Zelma Long,
Yeah,
very known
for
winemaker at
sure.
this time. And Zelma was winemaker at Simi Winery in Hillsburg.
Yeah.
And so, in fact, my first contact has been Simi, but just for a few months, because right after I came to Napa. And my second contact has been one very well-known Napa Valley man, Bill Harlan, and I'm still working with Bill
30 years later.
33 years after, and we are still there. And so Bill has been a monster in Napa and a visionary and making amazing things and completely new in the vineyard, in the vinification with Bob Levy, with Don Weaver.
Yeah.
They invent the new Napa Valley, and so now there is a lot of people doing or copying or doing the same,
Yeah.
but at this time was really
And you
visionary.
and you were the catalyst of that in many ways.
And I was in the middle of them, and we are still friends. That's a good that's a good thing.
Well, let's drink to that. So, Michel, how did it start for you as a young boy? I mean, give us a sense of history because you were born in a winemaking family in a way as well, and with your brother, and you created an amazing business, but quite different than what your parents had done.
Sure, but you know that's a very simple story. In fact, I'm born in a winemaking family. We own vineyard in Pomerol, and I have one brother, elder brother, and my brother was normally was like that in the family at my time in the 50s. The eldest one was going to do university, and so my brother is lawyer. Is not too bad, and the second one is going to the second level and running the property. So my destination was there, and so I have been a little bit lucky because my father don't need me to work immediately, so he was always telling me go to the university. So that's where I learned enology at the Bordeaux University at this time. And at the end of the study, I met my wife, Dani. Dani
Yes.
studied enology because she met me, because she was not knowing really wine at this time, and she's a good enologist and a very good taster, and we decided to do something else because just the property was a little bit small,
Yeah.
and so we decided to do a lab, and we began to do analysis of wine. Was quite new at this time. Advertising was not really working because no one was the consultant was not the job, and so
Yeah.
but step by step we begin, and my curiosity was big, like today. After 50 years, is almost the same, and I wanted to travel and to go somewhere else, and my life has been good because I went to Spain first. My first consulting out of France has been in Spain, and right after I came to US and Argentina, and like that 22 countries all over the world.
So you mentioned a word which is the biggest form of intelligence for me, is curiosity. How do you define curiosity?
But you know, you have always unsatisfied. That's very tiring.
Yeah.
To be curious because but you discover a lot, but the day you discover, you want to discover something else. That's for me that's a curiosity.
And you still discover.
Oh, I'm still. I'm ready to do to do new things and something new, and to travel. Unfortunately, we have been a little bit in problem last year, but I'm so happy to come back to Napa,
That's right.
and I'm so happy to go to Argentina. I went to Argentina last month, and so even
Amazing. But if you would not have done wine, Michel, what would you have done? I'm sure you reflect on that half a century later.
I think, my family was very Catholic,
Yeah,
maybe priest.
I could see that. You could wear the robe very well. I'm not sure you could really align yourself to all the principles, but
That's another problem. I never tried.
and if you were not have been born French, where do you think for you, born in Bordeaux, which is a unique place that we'd love for you to define, where would you think the world would have taken you as being? Would it be America?
Depends for what.
Yes.
I think in wine business, I'm sorry, it's not very humble, but I think anything begin in France.
Yes.
So the best Pinot are French. Mm-hmm. The best Syrah are French. The best Cabernet Sauvignon are French. The best Merlot are French. The best Champagne is French. And
let's drink to
we share just the Riesling with the German, but otherwise all is French. So I think to be in the wine business, we have to be born in France.
So we were lucky there. La 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 la.
Absolutely.
But you've been always tempted to help and discover other places. So where does it come from you, that sense of discovery? Because you often, as I met you many, many decades ago now, as a grand explorer. And I've always wanted to ask you the question, if you had been born in another time, what era would you have liked to live?
That's a good question. But certainly, I will have liked, but I don't like war too much. So I will have liked the middle of the 19th century, or
Okay.
not the end, because it was a little bit difficult, but the middle, after right after Napoleon,
Yeah.
I think was a nice time. And
why is that?
No, because I think the people was with people in certain condition was with good life, and was a nice time for the French society, for the wine, because it's the beginning of the reputation of the wine in Bordeaux, the classification 1855.
Yeah.
So and not arrive the first year. So since 1812 or 1820 was quite good, and the wine was something growing in the mind of the people, and
yes.
So that was the beginning. In fact, I think I like, as I mentioned before, to discover, but I like the challenge. And why I travel a lot, and why I went everywhere. I went to India to make, but 25 years ago, not yesterday.
That's right.
25 years ago.
You were the first one, actually,
yes.
to go to India.
Yeah.
The Marco Polo.
Absolutely crazy, because people. No people understand wine. No, the soil is not there. The climate is not there. The culture obviously is not there. So to make wine, that's really challenging, and we can't do that only because it's complicated. It takes you a lot of energy.
Yes.
But that's interesting, and that you can fight, and you can understand where the problems are, even when you come back in a great region like here or like in South America, where we can make definitely great wines.
And what do you think you were able to change in all those countries? I mean, you were a trailblazer, as they say in English, China, Argentina, South America as a whole, China, as I've mentioned, but just not one place, many places, India. What do you think you've helped to bring to those places?
Yeah, a lot.
Exactly. No, but don't be modest, because I
No.
think the world should know this is a fun time to be together and have this discussion.
No, seriously, I think, it's exactly like I'm a coach, in fact.
Yeah.
I'm not a genius. I'm just a coach. I like people, but I think I have quite a good contact with people. So when I arrive somewhere, I try to take the right people, and I like to coach them. I think if I was in football, or if I was in basketball, I will do the same.
Yeah.
And I try to give my energy to the people, and I want them to have my feeling, and to do like I can do if I do it. But the problem, I'm not doing nothing.
But you guide them.
I'm just coaching. I'm a coach.
Yeah.
And a coach with energy, and so all people working with me will say, wow, it's not so easy to work with Michel, because he's always pushing, always
Yes.
pushing. And I think I did that almost everywhere. And so, yeah.
And
Well,
Michel, this is why I selected one of our wines, Napa Valley, Chardonnay Blanc de Blanc sparkling wine,
Good.
which is passion. Because I really think this is what you communicate so well to all the people I've met all around the world working with you. So that flamboyance, French, passionate, energistic style. So what do you think of this wine before we move to red?
Beautiful.
Napa Valley sparkling.
And it's coming very well. That's the perfect time.
Well, then I have a surprise for you.
Wow.
So, dear friends, we are tasting with one of the most phenomenal, extraordinary, sensational.
You want me to be in trouble?
Yes. So, Michel, when you came in,
I thought until now he was a friend, but
and he's still a friend. Now, Michel, when you came to Bordeaux as born, explain us a little bit this childhood and how, you became, you think, who you are today.
we don't know that. But, of course, I love what I'm doing.
Yeah.
When I began in the wine, I never imagined what I'm doing or what I did, but when I was young, I was the same.
Yeah.
For anything, I have been a judoka, but when I was doing judo, I was a good fighter. I like to fight.
I could see that.
I like challenge. I like so I did.
I'd better behave tonight.
I did in wine the same.
Yeah.
And so at the beginning in Bordeaux, because I was most in Bordeaux than everywhere else, and step by step, and as we give the definition of curiosity, why 22 countries? I don't know. I don't need 22 countries, but that's 22, and my regret is not 25 or 35. Why not?
Well, because it's still in progress.
Yeah, absolutely. We have time, a little bit, but
we do. We'll live forever.
No, but that. When you are in the movement, you want to know better. You want to go even higher, and so that's.
And dear friends, this is very important. When you are in the movement, Michel is talking about rhythm, energy, and present progressive, which I love. When you started in Bordeaux, the wine were one way, and you helped to really transcend the style. I mean, you're really accountable for that. Would you describe us what you found at the time and how you helped it to evolve?
Good question and very simple. You know, when I begin to drink wine,
Yes.
as you know, it's the same in Burgundy, but in Bordeaux, I was at this time drinking more Bordeaux than Burgundy. We have great reference.
Yes.
The great reference was, for me, when I came in the wine business, was 1929, 1945, 1947.
Wow.
My birth year.
And one of the best year ever.
Very good. 1961 and 1970, because I arrived in the mid of 70s. So, in fact, 70 years, 5 great vintages. Why? Over 70 years is nothing.
Yeah.
Is 10% of the production was good. The rest, nobody was speaking
Very
about.
true.
What happened? So I tried to understand what happened. And all this year was normally sunny, so we get ripe, first point. Secondly, when we get ripe, people are picking even later, because
Yes.
when we get ripe, sunny year, it's ripe earlier in season, so instead to pick too early, people pick at the right moment,
Yeah.
or even sometime overripe. Okay, that was the second point. The vinification was complicated because at this time no temperature control, whatever, but the wine was dense and powerful and more concentrated than any other vintages. So I copy that. And the fourth point, not high production.
That's right.
Because all small. 47, for example, my own property, my family produced
Le Bon.
Le Bon Pasteur, 10 hectoliters per
Wow.
hectare.
Tiny volume.
Poor guys. That's why they were poor.
That's why you were a pasteur at the same time.
Yeah.
And a good one, luckily.
But the wine was very good.
So your philosophy was, I'm going to take those 5 vintages, the things I love in them, and that's what I'm going to focus on.
And I tried to understand why.
Yeah.
And why? For few reasons. Of course, the sunny year we do not add. Now we have more, but we do not add all the time. But if we prepare the vineyard, that's where we begin to work in production. We lower the production per acre.
Yeah.
We remove leaves to have more sun. We did a lot of things in viticulture and vinification after to improve in that sense.
Yeah.
And
The results.
And it happened.
So if you wanted for people to say, that's what Michel Rolland has contributed to Bordeaux, just Bordeaux for now, what would you want them to say? As we toasting on a wine.
A good Bordeaux, I hope.
Of course. I know it's a big question for Michel, but I think it's important after 50 years of amazing winemaking, we got to put him on the spot. Maybe it's an older wine that what will be
That's
tasting.
a great vintage. No, well, you know, I try to, but I commend people.
Yeah.
My job is to commend people.
That's right.
And instead, but after that, people are making wine. We need a team. We need other people. I don't do nothing, but certainly, I have been one of the first telling to the people we have to do this, we have to do that, and why? Not only to just to change what they were doing, but we in the last 25 years we did more good vintages than in Bordeaux history. certainly the
Yeah.
global warming help us, but certainly the new conception of
sure.
of viticulture and enology help us too. So that's where I was. But I told you at the beginning, you know, the chance you have to be at the right place at the right moment. I was there.
And where do you see Bordeaux today? As a blunt question, you know, we could talk about Burgundy in the same fashion, Champagne, Napa Valley.
That's a good question for Bordeaux. Bordeaux is doing very well for the good profile or high profile wine. It's much more complicated with a lower profile.
Yeah.
Because the competition in the world is huge. And of course, well, we don't speak about Napa because Napa is a high-profile wine. But if we speak about Chile, about Argentina, about Brazil, about Australia, about Spain, about everywhere, they are producing low profile. Low profile doesn't mean bad wine.
Yeah.
But even better than Bordeaux is able to produce today. That's where I think Bordeaux needs to change again. It's not so easy
That's right.
to change.
And how would you do that? What's your recommendation to all our friends? Because that's the big deal.
That's a
you know, the
big
top
deal.
80 chateau.
That's my next life.
How many lives do you think
maybe-
have you lived so far?
Or minimum 4. So
We've had
I'm
that
waiting
discussion
for the
before.
5th wine.
Yes. And how many will you live?
No, but you know, I think it's difficult. That's a good question, and that's a very important question for Bordeaux.
Yeah.
But we have to change many things. I have some ideas, obviously, but we have to change our communication. We have to change our distribution. We have to change many things,
Yeah.
and we have to make maybe a little bit better wines because the prices are low. People are not doing efforts to make better, and lower is the price, lower is the quality. It's not working. Unfortunately, it's not working. We have to make better, and maybe one day we are able to increase the price. You know that very well because.
And what's the grape variety, do you think, that should be that leader in change in Bordeaux? Is it still Cabernet Sauvignon based, or is it Merlot, Cap Franc?
No, I think Merlot and Cap Franc are much better in Bordeaux. In Bordeaux overall.
Overall.
Depends, of course. If you are going to les Croupes du Médoc, Cabernet Sauvignon is still there and forever. I hope so.
Yeah.
But if you are going in the soil a little bit with clay and more wet and whatever, I think Merlot and Cap Franc is doing very well.
That's right. So that's really something that we need to all embrace. You know, the change of not Cabernet based, but Merlot, Cap Franc. Why is Cap Franc so exciting? I'm a huge fan of it.
Yes,
personally.
You know, because we learn how to do it.
Yes.
I remember when I was young, even my father was more a people liking vineyards than wine because, like very often at this time, and Cap Franc for him was a little bit complicated because what was difficult to get ripe, was difficult to control the vigor sometime. At this time, we were not doing green harvest, so for him was complicated. But by the time, we learned how to control and to manage Cap Franc, and when we control and we manage Cap Franc, we have amazing wines with a lot of finesse and a lot of elegance. More than in Cabernet Sauvignon. Sorry for my friend making fantastic Cabernet Sauvignon, but
I'm with you. I will have a toast to that one. You know, and we all know Cabernet Sauvignon is the son of Cap Franc and Sauvignon Blanc, right?
It's fantastic Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah. So what is this? So we are with the most talented
Bordeaux
winemaker on the planet, dear friends. The bottle is sealed.
Bordeaux.
It's a Bordeaux-shaped bottle. You see that? And I've put aluminum foil, so the master of wine, the king, the emperor, the prince, all of the title of the aristocratic world.
Yeah, you're right. You know, you know a bad
It's pretty
story?
good, though.
Yeah,
Do you like
it's a very
this?
good one. Beautiful one. I like it.
And Michel does not know, so don't think we're tricking any one of us.
Now, I have a good story for that to take time before to say stupidity about the wine. In one interview with Émile Peynaud,
Yeah, of course.
and tasting blind like this very famous emission in TV French TV, and Bernard Pivot offered to him a wine blind, and Peynaud said, because at one moment we have to say something. Il sent la poutre. He smell la poutre. That's
beam,
that's the beam, the wood, but sometimes old and sometimes little bit dusty.
Yeah.
And so it sent la poutre. And Pivot was a little bit white. Peynaud was quiet, but in fact was Aubryon.
Wow.
and Peynaud was consultant for Aubryon at this time.
So you always got to be careful of what you say, right? Well, you know, Michel.
Excellent wine. That's it.
So what we'll do, we can dispose of it and we'll go back to it. So dear friends, remember the wine, all the way in the pool, and then we'll go back to it at the end so you could guess. Yeah. Now we're going to drink a Napa Valley.
Napa.
Cabernet Sauvignon. So, Michel, your view of, before we move to the new world, what do you think is the new style of Bordeaux? Because I want us to talk about style, because you were the instrument of a new vision. Like a fashion designer would evolve with Yves Saint Laurent, with Louis Vuitton, with Gucci. You've made Bordeaux evolve as a region. You really took it from where you discovered it as a young man to making it something new. What was your contribution in style?
But first of all, we very often we are making the wine we like.
Yeah.
So I like the wine with shoulder, with density, with concentration, because I mentioned to you, I like 1929, 47,
Yep.
45, 47. So, and was big wine. 47 was very strong and very powerful wine.
Well, look at the vintage.
Yes.
It's a fabulous vintage.
Today we are drinking sometimes, because there is less and less, but we are drinking 70 years after, and the wine are still alive. So at the beginning they were not with finesse,
right.
elegance, and some fruit. The fruit disappear for almost 50 years. So, and to change it, to move in more complexity and something different. So my reference was this wine. So I tried to make this wine. Well, again, you know, in life we have to have connection.
Yeah.
One guy likes those wines, Bob Parker.
Yes.
Obviously. And so
the emperor critique, you're the emperor of winemaking.
And during almost 30 years, I was making. I'm still saying, even Bob is watching the.
I hope he's with us.
And
we should have him.
I'm still saying it's easier to critique than to make.
Yes.
Salut, Bob.
But it's true.
It's true, completely true. But in fact, Bob was a fantastic taster.
Yes.
Certainly among the best we had ever in the wine business, and fantastic to discover new wines, new capacity, new possibility. And so during 30 years, he did a certain style, or he promoted a certain style of wine. Unfortunately for Bordeaux, because behind him the other was a little bit lost and nobody was speaking too much about the other taster, you know, at one moment you want to exist. And to exist, sometimes you are doing stupidity.
Yeah.
Because and most of them, because Parker like the wine with good shoulder, strong and powerful, they like a wine with dentelle and finesse. I agree with dentelle and finesse, but we never know where they are fine and where they are weak.
That's right.
And so we have to find the limit. And sometimes we are on the limit. And the fruit, people like that's fashion now. Ah, that's fruity. Okay, you know the wine. First year, that's one fruit. Second year, another fruit. 10 years after, nothing to compare. And 20 years after, where is the fruit? So the fruit is something very volatile, and so the fruit is good to avoid bad taste, but is not good for the wine ever. So that's why I'm still fighting and defending the wine.
You brought that intensity, that richness, that power of Bordeaux that was not there.
Maybe not enough today.
Yeah.
And that's maybe a mistake in the future. We'll see.
Are you thinking the wines today in style are too ethereal, too esoteric in a sense of...
I think so.
Uh-huh.
I think so. Depends. If you want to drink in 2 years,
yes,
welcome.
Fine.
Perfect. If you want to drink 15 years after,
that's right.
That's another job.
Which is the goal.
For the great wine, of course.
How long do you actually recommend? If we talk Bordeaux, and then we'll move to Napa, of course.
The good one?
Yes.
10 years.
Yeah, for sure. As a minimum.
That's the beginning.
That's
10
the
years.
beginning.
And the good one are... And the other day I went in a restaurant in the Valley where I saw too many 17 on the wine list.
Too early.
Yeah, too early.
What do you think is the meaning of wine today in our civilization, and what should it be? Because I think it's a big question when we see, Michel, you and I, born on a rootstock, making wine, and the rise of spirits, which is great, and beers and all those alternative drinks, fantastic. But we're losing a little bit of steam in wine. So what do you have as a message for everyone to make sure, besides all of us collecting wine, you know, to enjoy and drink wine?
Yeah, that's a strong question.
Well, but it's for a strong man. We shoulder born in 1997, 97.
47, 97.
Would it be great?
Thank you.
That's your fifth life, remember?
But I think the wine need to be able to age.
Yeah.
Most of them. That's where the wine can compete with any beverage we can find.
Yes.
If we want to make wine like beer, we have no future, because beer will be always better than the wine we can do at this level. And so we can make wine drinkable faster, but we have to keep in mind the great wines need to be a little bit strong at the beginning, and we have to age the wine to enjoy the wine. What is better than 20 years old wine? Very good, like the wine we had before. That's
We're going to unveil soon. Michel, have you thought of making something else but wine? Spirits, beer, kombucha, non-alcoholic. No, but I could see you as a creator at large because you have a great, incredible sense of taste. So and you have a very high level of curiosity. So wine is one thing, but
Of course, I imagine to do something different and
Yeah.
something else as wine. But in fact, I never spent enough time to do it. You know, I have a good friend of mine who was doing champagne, and now he's going to Japan to make sake.
I would see you being sake,
Richard Geoffroy.
of course.
And so that's fantastic in life to change. But if you want to do something really exciting, you have to spend time. So I'm so happy in wine business, and you know, making wine. As I say about Bordeaux is my place, but I love to work in California.
Yes.
I love to live in Argentina. So
You're a man of the world.
my life is a dream. So
It's a three-continent life.
I don't have to change my life.
Now, well, let's have a toast to that, because your life is a dream. I want to ask you, do you think you design the life you want to live in? I always say my life is a theater, and I draw the life I want to have.
Yeah.
Have you designed it, per se?
Well, in the last, I can say yes, in the last 20 years. Before was, I was rowing like everybody.
But a good Roman roll.
But today, since 20 years, I do what I like to do, and so I enjoy what I'm doing.
And, well, on that note, what do you think of this wine, by the way? That was the JCB number 10.
Today, that's exactly the wine I like.
Is it?
That dense, power, nothing wrong, nothing harsh, just full and full of pleasure. What else?
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Now, what made you, Michel, as well, such a great psychologist? What I admire in you, many things, of course, but the fact that you can work with so many great people around the world. It's one thing to, dear friends, to make great wines for yourself. You have your own brand and you build what you do, but you compose with so many people. What skills behind that to succeed to be so good at that?
Somewhere, my life has been very good meeting with a lot of fantastic people.
Yes.
But in fact, they make me. I don't
well
do
said.
myself alone. You know, that's the life of consultant. When you are consultant, you are not a genius. But if you are not stupid, you speak with Jean-Charles Boisset, maybe there is two good ideas. Sorry, there is much more. But there is two good
Well,
ideas.
if it was two, that
and
would be already good.
The day after, you are going to speak with Gina, and there is two good ideas. And see, if you're not stupid, you have four good ideas. And when you met 50 strong guys all over the world, they are always giving you good ideas. And when you are doing the mixed,
Yes.
if your mixer is working quite well, you finish.
So what's the brand of that mixer? So, Michel, you build from there, and I think it's very interesting for many of us and all our friends running businesses and enterprises. You've built a great energy around you as a team, because you cannot be in 22 countries at the same time. You cannot do harvest.
Of course.
So how did you succeed to build this amazing family business that now your children are involved with you? And congratulations for that. How did you do this? Explain and give everyone the ropes of delegating style and taste.
No, you just. I come back to the coach.
Yes.
You know, the coach.
Yeah, but still.
The coach is sit down out of the field, and the guys are playing on the field, and he's not playing. But he's crying, he's stressing, but he's not playing. But where there is good coach,
Yes.
there is not a lot.
No.
In fact, the best coach we know in American football, soccer,
Yeah.
in basketball, we have well, even in golf, in tennis, or whatever sport, there is few of them better than others. Why? I think because they do not have too much tricks. I think maybe.
But what's your secret as a great coach? So define for us.
You have to give energy to the people.
Okay, I'm giving energy to the pool now.
Yeah.
But what is your? No, I appreciate your overall, and you being too modest. But give us a few clues of what. Because you're designing style, and you're designing style with an evolutionary product, a living organism. Wine is not a static, element. So how do you succeed to do this with a team? How many people do you have in your team? You have a big team.
Yeah, seven working all over the world and in France.
So how do you succeed?
We are all together. We are over 250 properties.
Do you realize, dear friends, 250 properties? This is huge.
Yeah.
To follow, to remember, to stick to a style. So how do you check and balance with your team to make sure that your vision of that property is the right one? It's a McKinsey question. Procter and Gamble question.
Procter and Gamble. Yeah, say exactly the same. No, we are always and we are always every day we are thinking what we everywhere what we can improve, what we I taste wine sometimes with my assistant, sometimes alone, and anytime I'm tasting wine, I think, oh, I have to say that, I have to tell them that, and that's day to day. We never stop. We never.
Do you dream wine?
A lot. I'm always dreaming.
You dream wine.
And I have always never forgive and never. I'm always thinking what we can improve to do better, and I give that to my team.
Yes.
Almost all the time. By
For
phone,
sure.
by email.
And I love it. I've seen it. What do you think you haven't done yet that you wish to do in wine?
All.
But is there a region? Is there a wine style?
The region.
Or wine in general that you think, oh,
I have, Jean-Charles, I have two big frustrations in my life. I never did a great Pinot Noir, and I never worked with you.
Well, those two things are easily achievable. And wine really represents who we are. Pinot Noir is us. So,
I have a lot to do yet.
There's a lot to achieve, dear friend. Is that a proposal? Well, luckily Gina is close by, so she'll be acknowledger. So, Michel, is there what inspires you besides your beautiful, irresistible, passionate, phenomenal writer, irresistible partner of life today that wrote a book on you?
I think that's why I don't want to change.
Yes.
Because I'm so happy. I had
the French do. Have you noticed? Can you do that again for us, Michel? This is very French.
Because
did you see Frenchie? He was doing the same thing on four legs.
When you are in trouble or when you are not happy, you want to change something.
Yes.
When you are happy, when you are happy to meet people, happy to meet the people. But I like to meet people. So
yes.
My life.
You get your energy from people.
Yes. My life is certainly, if I continue now, it's because I like that. and I'm always curious to have new contact, to meet new people, and to because we learn always from
Yeah.
good people, obviously, but
That's the
we learn,
major source of
we,
inspiration.
we learn always, and that's my
Yeah.
passion.
Learning. So, besides not wearing socks, Dylan, can we go closer to?
No.
You never wear socks?
Not here. It's too
Because
warm.
I could give you a pair of the JCB latest,
Oh.
a burgundy-made socks, you
Oh,
know?
perfect.
Perrin family since 1906. How much of a fulfilling act it is for you to have now your children part of your business?
Well, that's
That's exciting,
very
though.
exciting.
How did you succeed to instill them to do what you do?
But
Besides being a good coach, which is
my
different.
children are not doing exactly the same
Yeah.
because they are not enologists. My daughter Stephanie is accountant, and
Yes.
so she's running all the things, and
The big numbers, dear friends,
no,
because the numbers are big.
small number, but she's running well. And Marie is a graphic designer,
Yeah.
and so she's running all the tools we need to sell the small amount of wine we are doing.
Well, so tell us about that, Michel, because that's very exciting. Besides running all the consultancy you do in 22 countries, you have your own wines.
Yes. Yeah, yes, very important.
Maybe you say to everyone, because that's a big deal.
Yes, we are making wine in many different countries because we are making in France, of course. We are making in Napa Valley. We are making in Spain. We are making in Argentina. So we have that's almost that. And we are making quite a lot of wine and selling through Rolland Collection .com. You can go.
Rolland Collection. One L or two L's?
Two L's.
But one D.
One D.
Dear friends, very important. Some of the best wines ever made in the world. So, Michel, we have a wine that is the Surrealist. And we wanted you to try this because you are kind of a surrealist thinker. If you were an artist, a painter, a sculptor, what era would you have belonged, do you think? Or do you belong? Present tense.
Yes. I would prefer that.
A surrealist?
Yeah, to be now.
Oh, to be now.
Yeah.
To be in the present tense. So what do you think of this wine? Something totally different than what we've tried. Something with a grape variety in it that is totally different. Can you feel it?
But that's not the same texture as the other one.
No.
Totally different. More finesse, more elegance, power, because at the end that's quite strong too. That's very young. Which year is?
Very young, like us.
Exactly.
Very true. We're trying here a 2016 vintage.
16.
Yeah, still very young. Now, Michel, what is, talking about dreams, that was my dream to make this wine. You know, when I came here in Napa Valley. What is your dream? A dream that you have not yet accomplished?
There is a lot. No,
Well, you know what is exciting though? Is it's exciting to have a lot of dreams. Some people don't have dreams.
If you don't have dream, where is the life? Where is the salt and the pepper of life?
I agree.
We have to have dream, and dream I have all the time and everywhere. But mostly in my business because I'm doing wine. But I would like to make even better, or to find something smart.
Yes.
But you know, that's the wine you want to do but that's a beautiful wine. That's a very good wine. That's interesting. Not to do exactly the same as we did for years and years.
Yes.
To change, but because we are able to change our mind and to. But it's not easy to find another way successful.
Yes.
So, but before that, we have that's a lot of work. That's a lot of thinking, and but that's a dream.
Yeah.
To find something new, but smart, interesting.
Well, talking about that, Napa Valley, California, was a dream for you that
course.
you really helped to build. Where do you see Napa Valley today versus when you knew it maybe 30 years ago?
But it's totally different because today you can taste in Napa maybe around 500 wines able to get over 92 rating.
Yes.
That's huge.
Yeah.
30 years ago, we were at maybe 30, and not every year. So we can compare. For Napa, if I can dream for Napa, and that's a discussion I had many times with
sure.
plenty of my friends and clients in Napa. I think Napa need to look to the other country, not only US, because Napa is famous in US, is not famous enough in the world market for the top level wine, like the great Burgundy are,
That's right.
like the great Bordeaux are.
Or Rhone.
And Napa can do that because today there is the wines to do that, but that's the next step. I think it's a step coming now, and certainly in few years from now, Napa will be recognized as a great region for wine production in the world. It is now, but we need to export more. We need to buyers from Europe, from Asia, of course, need to have more enthusiasm for Napa wines.
If it was now, 1985, 1990, would you still in Bordeaux or would you have moved to Napa Valley?
No, definitely. The question, I know the answer because, I came here, I was already old, unfortunately, because I came here, I was 40. So I began my job somewhere else before to come to Napa.
Yeah.
If I began to come to Napa maybe 10 years before, definitely I will be.
You would have stayed here.
I would be American today.
And what is your view? One more question after this, Michel. I know I'm holding you a long time. What is your view of America overall? We both, you and I, share the love of the United States, of course, but give us your thoughts of that.
No, but America is huge, is big, and there is too many things. But, I love to work in America because that's the place to work.
Yes.
People are working, number one, are doing what they say or what we speak about. When I love Argentina to live because that's a beautiful country and that's
and it's Clos de la Siete, your wine, right?
Very entertaining. But you never know if what you say, people are doing what you are saying. But in US, no, the focus sometimes a little bit too much, but working well, and I love that's a country to work.
Mm-hmm.
And in France, they are too lazy now. They are not working anymore.
So you believe in the future, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Always. One thing, Napa had a huge problem last year with the fire. there is no one people complaining. Of course, they regret what happened, but they are not complaining. They are just thinking in the future.
That's right.
Like with the phylloxera. I remember the phylloxera in the 80s and beginning 90s. People was replanting.
Yeah.
You know, you do that in France, and you are all the people in the ministry asking money to do it again.
That's
and
right.
so that's not American, and that's where I like the American mentality, because they are strong and
Forward thinkers.
yeah, absolutely.
Like you.
Well, I try to be.
And you continue to be. So, Michel, as we look at all our friends around the world, I'd love for you to say,
We spoke too much.
we spoke phenomenally, and you did. That was amazing. And we thank you. So, what are you writing a book, by the way? I don't think you have yet. Many people have written books about you, which is maybe the best of all. Are you thinking of writing?
First of all, we did a book on my career. Not all, of course, because it's just to say where I'm from, what I did, and what I'm thinking on the wine, and
Yes.
and some people on the so. But of course, I can write another one. Maybe one time, Isabelle will do it very well.
And she's such a great writer. What she's done the first time was fantastic. So, Michel, a message to everybody before, and maybe we don't unveil. Maybe we wait
We have to know.
till the next episode so every one of you can see if the master actually guessed what is behind this beautiful foil paper. And I know you all want to see it. I can see that. But first and foremost, the message.
The message, very simple. Go forward and never watching back, and enjoy life and enjoy wine, obviously.
I love it. Dear friends, be back. We're going to unveil the wines, but you're going to have to come back and see us, because Michel Rolland is going to tell us what it is. Merci, Michel.
Pleasure. Thank you.
So, dear friends, now is the big time and unveiling. So we are wondering, what is happening in this mind, this brain, this illustrious, phenomenal sense of taste? So we're going to try one more time after number 10, the Surrealist. And I'm going to ask Michel, he tasted it, as you know, the first time on the show. What are we really drinking? So Michel, the music of Jeopardy is playing, ta-ta-ta-ta. What are we having?
Now, but you know, it looks like Bordeaux. Mm-hmm. It smells like Bordeaux.
Oh, ooh la la. What does it mean? It
Maybe.
Smells like Bordeaux.
We can smell the same things as some truffle, some good floral character.
I smell that, even though he's the expert and I'm the student. God, I love that nose. How old do you...
It tastes like Bordeaux. Mm-hmm. But as I know my friend Jean-Charles, he's certainly a Napa Valley wine.
Are you serious? Are you thinking I'm trying to trick you?
I think so.
Hey, I would never, ever try to trick the master. So you think it's actually Napa Valley?
Possible.
Possible. Where do you think it could be? Cabernet Sauvignon, Pinot Noir, or Sangiovese?
No.
I just tried.
If it's Pinot Noir, I don't think so. But
So what vintage do you think that could be?
So I said around 2000.
Yeah.
Maybe older.
Maybe a little older. Do you like it?
Very much.
Dear friends, it's amazing because I try to trick the master. The obvious was obviously to go to Bordeaux, but he's actually right. It's a little older than 2000. So what vintage would you think? And dear friends, it's a wine none of us have made, purposely neutral. You know, we've never tasted it ever. And it's a wine from one of the first years Michel came to Napa Valley. What vintage do you think? If it's the 80s, let's say it's the 80s. Any thoughts? 1988.
88.
He was right.
Yeah, it's older.
He guessed Napa Valley. He was in 2000. That tastes pretty good.
Beautiful.
They knew what they were doing. Huh?
Beautiful. Beautiful, you know, because that's 30 years old, or 33 years old.
And it's still around.
And still there, still alive, and with elegance, finesse, and nothing wrong. Tannins are supple,
and it speaks for the master.
That's why I'm too Bordelais still. I have to change my mind.
No, which is amazing, is you said, in our wonderful time together, people should age wine. This is it. People should keep wine. This is what we're doing, and drink wine of a certain age. And Michel, thank you so much.
The pleasure is there.
Oh, phenomenal. Cheers.